welcome back to the Tbird Coyote Swap, Part 5. Moving right along, picking right up where Part 4 left off. Getting the Scott Rod panels in. They're all done and painted. And finishing up the last bits of the Maximum Motor Sports manual brake install. So let's take a look and see what I got done. All right, so I got Scott Rod panels all popped into place. Everything fitted up. Took very, very minor trimming just to get them to fit in as tight as I wanted. I put as few rivets in as I could. I even painted the rivets with the same color paint before I put them in, but they did get nicked up a little bit, so I may go back and touch those up. But turned out pretty good. They're a little bit shinier, glossier than the rest of the engine compartment. This is like 4 years old at this point. But looks good to me. I'm happy with it. We're going to go with it. This side over here, hopefully I can get the factory control pack air box to fit over there without hacking that apart. And same over here. I want to use, I bought a reproduction battery tray. I have to do a little bit of modification now to it to sit in here correctly, but I want to get that to fit in there, and I want the battery in the stock location if I can. I had a slight problem with the master cylinder. Since I had a 93 Cobra Master on the car that comes with a 1-inch bore, I found that the 92 Ranger master cylinder had the same matching 1-inch bore, and the brake line fittings on the opposite side, so they face the apron of the car, so I won't have any interference with the valve cover on the Coyote. Problem I had is, excuse me, I'm just getting over a bad cold, but that bore on the back side of the master cylinder where it fits through the hole in the Maximum Motorsports plate there on the firewall, it was literally 10 thousandths of an inch bigger than any of the other Fox body master cylinders I had here. So I literally took a piece of sandpaper, chucked this up in my vise, and hand sanded the outside diameter of that bore on the body of the master cylinder until it actually slid in there and fit. So now it fits. So now all I got to do is make the lines. I bought some combo brake lines that have the metric bubble flares on the master side. Got M12 10 on one side, and then the M10 10 on the other side to 3/16. So these will be a little bit short. I will have to make a little bit longer piece to reach the proportioning valve. So just got to get those made, and then basically the motor can go in. So I got the master cylinder is now installed for good, and there are my brake lines hooked up for the front and rear to the proportioning valve. I had to use I used a combo. Those little short lines come off the master. They have the bubble flare with the metric fittings to a standard 3/16. And then I just built the copper lines to go from there. So now I just got to build the one that comes off the bottom to hook to the brake to the rear. That originally popped through here. I went to my adjustable proportioning valve, so I have to rethink how I'm going to route this and plumb that, where I'm going to put it all, and then that part will be done now. All right, I got the rear brake line routed, did another copper line, routed right up over the steering column, and then follows along the bottom side of the pinch weld. Got a couple clamps holding it to the firewall, and then there's the adjustable proportioning valve going right through the existing hole in the shock tower for the front brake line. So it all laid out pretty nice. And there's the lines. So we are all hooked up, good to go. So now I guess it's drop the motor in time. All right, the moment of truth. We now have the Coyote installed. And boy, what a freaking pain in the ass this was. Wow, for a while, we were wondering if the K-member was even the right one. Because stuff just did not want to fit right initially. But I don't know, Dale, how long have we been out here? 4 hours? Probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I came over about 2.
So yeah, we've been going at this for a while, but there's clearance there. The firewall, man, it is freaking tight. There's no transmission in it yet, so the motor is still down a little bit. It'll level out once we get the trans in and get it hanging from the cross member. So looks like my engine lift bracket back here, though, is going to be a permanent fixture on this, because I don't know how the hell I'm going to get to those bolts to get that back out. So, man, I think it's literally touching. So, yeah, that's probably going to stay. It is what it is. So, moving on. Now I can start doing the wiring, get the trans in it, hook up the exhaust, radiator, cooling system. Plenty to do. Wow. But there it is. She's installed.
Can you get the cross member underneath there?
What's that?
Can you get the cross member up underneath there in your video there?
No, yeah, we'll do that later. But for tonight, I'm done. Matter of fact, I don't know. This might be a wrap for this video. I'm not sure. But anyway, there it is. All right, so yeah, I think I am going to end the video here. I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter. Try not to lose everybody's attention anyway. So, yeah. Motor's in. That's all good. I still got a little bit of fine-tuning to do. I don't know what's going on, if it's this Team ZK member or whatever, but we wrestled like hell with ratchet straps, pulling on, moving stuff around, trying to get stuff to line up right. It was not as easy as what everybody says it was, so I don't know what the deal is, if it's my car or if it's that K member or what. But next, I'm gonna mess around with getting some of the other stuff in, get the computer mounted in. I got to build a bracket to mount it down here, get the trans in it, get the cross member on, so get the driveline angle set, and then I know a common theme of these videos is I say one thing in the beginning of the video, and then I either say or do something completely different 10 minutes later. So just to stick with that theme, now I'm really thinking about, do I want to hack up these Scott Rod panels and mount the battery in the stock location, and then getting that factory air box to fit over there. I really like the clean look of it right now with just the clean aprons in there. I'm just trying to get away from putting a battery in the trunk and then having to put a cutoff switch on it in case it will go to the track eventually. So if the battery goes in the trunk, I also got to put in a cutoff switch, which I'm not crazy about having a big lever thing sticking through my taillight panel or whatever. And then the other thing I'm worried about is the actual clearance with the air inlet tube with this thick Griffin radiator and the hold down. I don't know if that's all going to work or not. So I guess now comes all the little fine details I got to figure out and get done. So might be a little bit before the next video on this. I got a couple other things to take care of on my Bronco. I might make a video for that. So anyway, if you like it, subscribe. If not, whatever, no big deal to me. And we'll see you eventually in the next video. So thanks a lot.